Jury selection for Penny begins. Tyrus. So the trial for Daniel Penny has begun in NYC. The former Marine charged with manslaughter for the subway chokehold of Jordan Neely. That's my brief reenactment. He was a deranged homeless man. He's had like 50 arrests. He's attacked people. And witnesses said he was threatening passengers, and Penny stepped in. And I'm just wondering, if he is found guilty, how is this going to change male behavior when something's going down?
Well, unfortunately, or fortunately, it probably won't, because men like him don't think about those things when they see people in trouble. Mm-hmm. And you shouldn't. The ones who have great cognitive, those are the women. Men we tend to react when we see something bad, and rightfully so. If a jury of his peers convicts him, I think you have to really look at the state of New York City and think there is no hope, because there's no one who saw that, if you watch even part of the video or talk to any of the, and I hate that I even have to say this, the women of color who were terrified for their lives, who he was threatened to kill and hurt. If any one of them would say, do you wish he was not there? They would say, thank God he was there. So again, this never should have went to trial. This isn't, you want to make it all these other things. It wasn't racially motivated. It was man motivated. He saw people in trouble that couldn't defend themselves, and he did. It wasn't just everyone who piled and held on the guy. And then all of a sudden, the ugly thing about this, the race baiters show up, all these professional people that say all the things are wrong. If we could watch it in black and white, and you couldn't tell the color of anybody in there, no one would have a problem with what he did. Mm-hmm. He did the right thing.
Guys who helped him were...
Yeah. There was the brothers that were helping him weren't saying, get off him.
Yeah.
Because they knew the situation. Because if those men were saying, let him go, he would have. Yeah. But they didn't, because they were all in danger. They were glad he was there. So, again, this should be...
Jennifer, this writer, Kat Rosenfeld, came up with a really interesting take on this, that the Me Too movement dictated that men who say lewd things at work, make passes like that, they need to be punished, rightly so. But there seems to be no standard in a subway where a deranged, dangerous man can do whatever he wants, and somehow he will still be seen as a victim in this metal tube underground.
It's not just in a subway, though. That whole Me Too moment is gone, because now a man can enter a locker room.
Yes.
And ogle women, mm-hmm. and just say he's a woman, mm-hmm. and he is, and you're not allowed to complain.
Right.
You will be kicked out of that gym or that locker room if you do. Or if you're like Paul Scanlon, a swimmer who swam at University of Pennsylvania with Leah/Will Thomas and had to change in a locker room with him 18 times a week, you will be told, if you go to the university, that you need to seek counseling. Mm-hmm. Her, not him. So the Me Too sideways glance, which went way too far, that is a thing of the past. Now, all a guy has to do is say, I'm a girl. He doesn't even have to put on a dress.
Yes. Makes it so much easier for me.
He just self-IDs, right? You just walk right in and you say, well, I'm a woman, and you can ogle whoever you want.
Mm-hmm. Kat, your husband is a veteran, mm-hmm. and a very upstanding, moral dude. If he was on the subway and he saw something go down, he would probably act, I would assume, right?
I think he would, honestly.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is I don't really know many men like that anymore, though. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Of the guys I've dated, he's literally the only one who I can say that about. Mm. The rest would be like, oh, I better get away from her in case something happens in this vicinity. I'm not even, everyone's a
Yeah.
And I remember thinking at the beginning of my pregnancy, which, by the way, my pregnancy is my personality now. People are like, don't make your whole personality. I'm like, oh, this thing that affects every moment of my life is my personality, actually. I was so excited to start showing a lot so that people would help me with things. I'm now showing a lot, still not helping me with things. Okay? I was on the subway. Nobody gave up their seat to me. My back hurts. My hip hurts. I'm at the airport. I have to be like, can someone help me with this bag so my uterus doesn't fall out my crotch? I have to actually ask that. I'm floored by it. I'm truly floored by it. All this to say, if somebody was threatening to kill me to my face, I would hope somebody would step in. Mm-hmm. But I don't, unfortunately, think that this will be the thing to, obviously, I don't think he should get in any trouble. But I don't think that this will be the thing to change anything. I think we are littered and overrun with
Yeah. And then it's,
Now, hold on. To be fair, that's usually a great thing. Not in this situation. To anybody who is confused. Normally, that's a wonderful day. It's not the same thing.
so interestingly, people plead for you not to get involved.
They do. I just get in the way. And, and hearing everybody, great points, and now I really feel bad that I asked Kat to help me move this weekend. But yeah,
you give her the lower end of the sofa up the
come
stairs.
on, just help me up the stairs. I mean, I have not been in this case. I find that when trouble goes down, usually anyone who's causing problems runs away when my high-pitched female shrieking starts. Right? It's like a siren. This is where I think feminism does not realize that chivalry is an agreement. It's not an obligation. It's not that men are automatically required to do these things. Mm-hmm. And what they've done in a situation like this is, like Tyra said, there are certain men who instinctively, they run towards danger. They go to help. But now there's that moment where they have to think, geez, if I do that, am I going to go to jail? What's going to happen? And this shows you the problem we have in New York City and these other cities. You cannot turn the operations of your city over to the most damaged, dysfunctional, disruptive people. Mm-hmm. Because, Jordan Neely, he had a life filled with suffering. Mm-hmm. But he also caused suffering. He liked to punch people, and he had this anger and violence in him. The rest of the world does not need to deal with that. So someone like him, if they're not going to take their meds, if we can't do something with them, we can't just let them run amok.
Right.
So it's unfortunate that you see that if you don't help these people, this is what happens.
Yeah.
And then you can't tell people you can't defend yourselves. What is the end game here?
Yeah, there's no other option then. If you can't defend yourself and you're not taking these, I would say, loose cannons off the subway, and then you have to wait for the police. They're only going to come until it's too late. So you're screwed. All right. On that upbeat note, Kamala wants to call it quits on Trump's skits.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.